Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is Abhinav and in this particular video we have Anis with us. So I don't think Anis wants an introduction. Anis is a upcoming software engineer intern at DirectEye. He's a former software engineer intern at Microsoft and he has full-time offers from Microsoft, Cred and DirectEye too. So hi Anis, how are you?
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Avinav. So I am doing good. So hello everyone.
So, Anis, just I have introduced you some of your major things, but I know that you have a lots of other than this also. So, can you please just give your introduction?
Yeah, so if I have to introduce myself, I would say that first of all, I am finally a student at IST Shibpur and I am pursuing my bachelor's in computer science. And apart from this, if I talk about my career, so I interned at Microsoft last summer and also got a PPO from it. So, and in the upcoming winter or the winter of 2023, I will be interning at media.net or DirectEye. I also got offers from, as Avinab told, that I got full time offers from Microsoft. That was a PPO for my internship, and from Media.net and Cred. If I talk about my coding profiles, I am a candidate master at Code Forces and a six-star coder at Code Chef. And apart from this, I have also worked at Lead Code, Scalar, and HackerRank as a DSA and CP mentor or curator, you can say. So that sums it up about my introduction.
Lots of experience, lots of knowledge, lots of achievements, and so I think that for all who are watching this particular video, uh, whatever Anis has done, I think you all are aiming for that. Maybe that interns and full times at top product-based companies and be a good problem solver, be a good at DS and CP. I think everyone's aim is that only and that you have achieved. So congrats for that first of all. And so Anis, everyone when someone is in their first year or when they start in the college, everyone has a beginner and it's just it started from scratch. So how was your journey when you started from scratch and it just goes on to this particular level?
Yeah, so if I talk about my coding journey, to be very honest, like I had coding in my school. So in my class 11 and 12, so we had Java and object oriented programming. But I would say that was not much. So you can say that I started from first year. So basically, I started like CP in my second sem, and I started CP in the first place. Okay, so like my some of my seniors told that do CP, it will help you in developing your problem solving skills. So I started CP on Code Forces in my second semester. When I looked for resources, so I used to go for CP algorithms to learn algorithms to learn any data structures or something like that. So that's how it began. So reading resources from GFG, reading resources from CP algorithms, and going back and implementing them on Code Forces. So that's how it began. And then it picked up pace. Like the pandemic set in, we had lots of free time, and uh, I could devote more time to CP, and I used to practice like 4 5 problems a day, and like that's how my CP skills grew. So then like our on-campus internship season started. So I got a offer from Microsoft to be a SD intern, and in this summer, in the summer of 2022, so I interned there. It has been an amazing experience to be intern to have interned at Microsoft. And like after that, I started working at Scalar as a DSM, and then I got offers from Media and Cred. So that's a basic summary of my coding journey. So I would also say that I also did some of CTFs and some hackathons, but those are very less. I didn't explore much about CTFs and hackathons, but I did some.
Great, Anis. So the thing which you mentioned was that in your first year you started CP as the first thing means in your second semester only, and that's something very similar to me also. That I was also started CP in my second semester only, and it was
Yeah,
like that. I started CP before DSA. I was not into
yeah.
DSA much. I've just started CP because it was more interesting to me, and that I basically also tell students that if you are aiming for top companies that basically have levels equivalent to CP questions, so you have to start CP as much as soon you possible. Means it's not like that you have to complete DSA then start CP. and that's all. That's what you also told about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, great means how the things just goes on, and then you got offers from the different, like Microsoft Scalar and other things. So yeah, exactly, that was actually amazing. uh,
Yeah, so the reason, just as you told that you started CP before DSA, and for me it was the same. And the reason behind this that is that, like, for the basic CP questions, you don't really need DSA. Like, those are very simple problem solving skills. Like, if you have some kind of an aptitude or mathematical skills, you can just solve those questions. So for beginners CP problems, you really don't need DSA. So you can really start CP before DSA. So that's really a important topic to be noted.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the starting some questions of CP is something equivalent to your thinking ability, your problem solving
Yeah,
skills, and that is what improves. Means if you will see code safe, so starting 1 2 questions of a division 3 is just like a
yeah,
normal maths question. You have to implement
yeah,
if else and for loop, na. So for all those who are thinking that I don't have much knowledge of DSA, I can't do CP. So it's not right actually. You can surely start with DSA CP basically, and obviously this is also an important thing. And also you are working with lead code, these such brand, the top brands, so it's really amazing. Means I know that how much this the hiring process of this lead code, I have also gone through that, and I got a rejection if the viewers don't know. And currently I'm working at Geekspocket, but yeah, I've tried for lead code too. Yeah, it's amazing. Anis, your journey was amazing. So now the next thing that as you said that you have interned this last summer at Microsoft. So how was your experience at Microsoft? How was your interview experience? How you applied for it? And how was the particular thing right now?
yeah. So the first thing is the interview process, I would tell. So, like, Microsoft visited our campus, so it was an on-campus offer. So like, MS visits our campus every year for interns. So last year also they visited our campus for interns, and like, we had 4 rounds. Like, the first round was an online assessment, so we had 2 questions and 90 minutes. So those are basic CP questions, like, normal code forces type questions, and you were given 90 minutes. So the first question, as far as I remember, was an mathematical question, and the second was a DP question. So I solved both of the questions and solved them within like 60 minutes, I guess. And then there were 3 rounds. The first 2 rounds were purely DSA, and the last round was the HR plus DSA. Like, the last round was not exactly DSA; it was some kind of an open-ended DSA question and an HR round. So if I talk about the DSA round, so basically they came up with a question and you have to give a solution, as simple as that. Also, like, you have to talk about the approach, talk about how you arrived at the approach. This is very important, like how you are arriving at the approach, like what are the observations you are making to reach the answer. Like, you should talk while coding and you should talk while thinking, like what you are thinking and why you are thinking. Okay, so apart from this, like, you have to code the right solution, and then you have to dry run a sample test case. So they will give you a sample test case and you have to dry run that sample test case on the code you have written, and at the end you have to tell the time and the space complexity of your approach. Okay, so this is a basic overview of the DSA problem, and most of the DSA problems or the DSA rounds goes like this only. Like, in any companies, I like, be it Microsoft, Cred, Media.net, Google, Coordination, anything. Like, every DSA rounds goes more or less similar to this. Okay, so like, the first 2 rounds were DSA, and the last round was an HR and a DSA round. So in that round, like, I was given an hypothetical situation or a hypothetical question. Like, let's say this happens, so how would you solve this problem using the data structures and algorithms you know? So, like, there is no perfect answer to this question. Okay, so you means, they're telling you to optimize as much as you can. Okay, so basically, as far as I remember, so they told me to design some kind of a game with minimum time complexity. So basically, you have to optimize as much as possible and make the user experience better. Okay, and for the HR round, they asked me about the projects that I have done, the projects that were there in the resume, and some hypothetical situations, like, which may occur while I am working at Microsoft, and how would you face those situations. Okay, So for example, like if I say like this happens, how would you react to this situation and how would you handle this situation? So questions like this. So there are 3 rounds and one OA round. So this was basically the interview process. And if I talk about my experience or the internship experience, it was a great experience, I would say. So I was working in the supply chain org of Microsoft. So basically, in I used object oriented programming in my internship. So I had to design an API wrapper. So it was a great experience. So it was also the first time I was interning at an MNC. So I learned a lot about how to write code, how to get code reviews, how to not write code. So many things like that, how to name or how to comment code, or how to means reach or approach people, or and how to learn things from other people. So it was a great experience. Also, like, it was a great experience to interact with senior software engineers and, like, yeah, engineering managers. They do have a lot of knowledge in the software engineering domain. So I would say that anyone who will be interning in the next summer, just go and reach out people. Like, you will learn a lot. Okay, so you will really learn a lot. So don't hold back. Like, if you have some questions or anything, just go and tell to your mentor or to any senior SWE, or you can even reach out to your manager. Managers more often are really helpful. Okay, so it was a great experience. And, like, at the end of the internship, I had two PPO interviews. Like, one PPO interview was another DSA round, just similar to the internship interview, and another was a system design round. So system design round was a basic was a formal system design. So don't ignore system design. That's another tip. Like, it's really very useful for FT interviews as well. So I had two interviews. So the interviews went well. So basically, for the PPO result, so your manager's feedback and the interview feedbacks combined gives you the PPO result. So, like, my interviews went well, and my manager was also satisfied with my work. So I secured a PPO. So basically, that was my experience at Microsoft till now.
Yeah, great, great. Means how the interviews goes on, how the things goes on. It was really amazing, Anis, and it was. I mean, I think that the interview process of Microsoft was something similar to mine also at LinkedIn, because I think
Yeah,
LinkedIn is a subsidiary of Microsoft. So the interview
yeah,
process was very much similar, because I was also having a OA, then DSA rounds, and then at the last there was a host manager round, and that was
yeah,
something similar to Microsoft, I think. And yeah, that was that is actually some many amazing. Okay, so yeah, great. And as you said in the starting also, that during the time of lockdown, you prepared well for your like you dived into the CP domain and you explored it very well. So that was a thing, guys. That when you have opportunity, like during COVID, to COVID, we are having opportunity to learn, explore. College were online. We are having time, and that was a time then which differentiate you from the others. That if you are going good
yeah,
at that time, you have to stand up from others, na? So it's fine. Means currently layoffs are going on and freezing is going on. You are not getting a opportunity. I know that, but the only thing which you have to do is that just go on, go on, skill up yourself. Just dive into the thing which you're doing on, and surely when the chance will come, you will get the opportunity. Only thing is you have to give your best. Okay, yeah, that's from my side. Great news, and that was amazing that you interned at Microsoft. Is such a good MNC and dream of many others. So it's great. Now, can you please tell me about, because you are going to intern at Tide 2, which is another product-based company. So means how is your experience for that also, the interview thing and how the things goes on?
yeah. So basically, there's a bit of background between Media.net, behind my offer between Media.net. So actually, Media.net visited it visits our campus every year for full-time employees, but our college does have a rule for one offer rule. Okay, so, like, once you get one offer, you are blocked. Okay, you can't sit for others. So the thing was that, like, I wasn't allowed to sit for Media.net in my on-campus opportunity. Okay, so but like, I filled the form there, but I wasn't allowed to sit due to the one rule offer. Okay, so then I went and applied to Media.net off campus, and, like, I got a OA again. So again, there are 4 rounds. Okay, so there was a OA, 2 DSA rounds, and at the end there was a system design round. Okay, so that's why I said that system design is very underrated and you should never neglect system design. Okay, so if I talk about the way, so there are three questions and there are 90 minutes. So I would say the level of the questions were around a medium hard. Okay, so around I would say like 1700 on CF. So I solved all three around in 60 minutes, and like I was moved forward to the interviews. So the first interview round was a system design plus CS fundamentals. So like uh, there was a DSA or a CP question, and at the end there were some CS fundamental questions as well. So again, CS fundamentals is also very important for interviews. Okay, so don't just blindly go with DSA. There are also other things to focus on. So the DSA question was harder than the in questions of MS. I would say like Directy has a harder interview process than Microsoft. So like in the media.net interviews, so I was given, I would say the level of the question was around 1800 to 1900 on CF. So it was basically a monotonic stack question as far as I remember. Okay, so in Directy, the process is also the same. You have to give the approach, why you have uh, arrived at this approach. You have to code the approach, and at the end, you have to write on a sample test case and the time and space complexity of the approach. Okay, so I did. So they gave the question, I solved it, and at the end there were some CS fundamental questions on networking, DBMS, operating systems, and object oriented. Like the basics of those, like four or five short questions. Like they just asked what is this, why this is used, like what are the advantages of using this, and so on. The second round was similar, so the only thing that was different, so this time there was a DP question instead of a monotonic stack. So and there was again some CS fundamental questions at the end. So like they asked about some SQL queries and some operating system queries, and then there was a system design or an open-ended round. So in this round, so it is actually taken by an engineering manager of, or the engineering director of media.net. Okay, so the last round is taken by the director. So he basically asked me two open-ended questions. So like open-ended is, again, you can't have the exact answer or the most optimal answer. It's like how far can you optimize. So I would say that like out of the two DSA questions, I could optimize one of them really well, and the other one I couldn't optimize as much as I would have liked. And after that, again, there were some CS fundamental questions like how means some basics of CS fundamentals, and then he talked about my internship experience, and then he talked about the projects that I have done or the projects that were there on the resume. And like he was asking that what improvements could you have done on your project, like what problems your projects are solving, and how could you scale up your projects, things like this. Also at the end there were some basic questions or hypothetical situations that why do you want to join this company, so, similar questions to that. So this is the basic interview experience of media.net.
Yeah, great,
So
great.
means, yeah, so media.net, I would say it equally focuses on things like CS fundamentals and system design along with DSA. Like if you only know DSA well, like you can't really get the offer. Like they also focus heavily on other topics like CS fundamentals and system design.
Yeah, I mean, so only DSA can't give you a full-time offer basically because yeah, I can relate that for the full-time offer. For intern, it's fine that like in Microsoft
Yeah.
they basically focus on we can say DSA or CP thing. But for full-time offers, guys, you have to focus on other CS fundamentals, core subjects, and system design too. Because as Anish said, that it was asked, and actually this happens, guys. So it's not just like that. DSA only can land up with you a job. You have to focus on other things too that are also important. And because DirectEye is a company, Mediatorn is a company which I think focusing on CP more. It's more CP oriented company. The problems, as Ani said, it was 1800 1900 level problems with something equal to Candid Master. So that's it is really tough problems are basically asked there. And yeah, it was great. And great. So you also mentioned about your projects because at the end of the last round, like which was sometimes like in the HR round, the manager asks about projects. That was the last phase of
Yeah.
your interview. So
Yeah.
how means can you please tell me about your projects? What were your projects which helped you basically get these
Yeah.
opportunities?
So if I talk about my project, so like I am doing a final year major project on Twitter sentiment analysis using transformer models, that is deep learning. So I mentioned that project in my resume, and also I have a web development project in my resume. So project, you can put any project in your resume, just make sure that it is solving a real life problem. This is very important, because your project shouldn't be something like just a clone of something which is readily available on the internet. Like you shouldn't make a project just for the sake of making a project. It should solve a problem. That's the basic thing. Like even if I talk about my second project, it's a very basic website, that it is a static website. Like anyone can make a static website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, okay. But like I would say it is solving a problem. Like in the pandemic, like many people couldn't visit the campuses, so we came up with a static website which tells us everything about our campus. Like even we have the maps of our campus, the buildings, or the routes to our campus. So basically the problem that it solves, it is giving information to the freshers who are joining the college and couldn't come to the college due to the pandemic. So it was one of the problems that the project was solving. So build a project which solves a real life problem, no matter how simple it is. Just build a project which solves a real life problem. So
Yeah.
that's one thing you should keep in mind while building projects.
Exactly. Means I think that real life projects, live projects make a really great impact on your resume. I even have a live project, and actually it helped me a lot during my
Yeah,
LinkedIn interview. I was having a project which maybe some of you, it's a notes.crackdata.com. It's a website. So what it basically have is that when you are exploring different platforms, different coding platforms, you have some questions from Lead Code, some questions from Geeks for Geeks,
yeah,
some from Code Forces. So I have created a website where you can just basically add all your questions at a single place, and you can revise them whenever you want. It was also, and it is having some 500 active users currently. So,
yeah,
and my complete last round, which was based on HR and projects, was just going on this project only.
yeah.
It was just a 15-minute discussion on a single project. So it makes a really impact when you are having a live project. So it's really amazing, Anis, and
Yeah, so another advantage I would say, like of having a project, is that when you have a project on your resume, so in the HR round you can talk about it, and like you would know things on your project. So your project is a strong point for you, and when you are talking on your strong point, the chances of getting through are really high. So if you don't have a project, so the interviewer will start asking from other topics, or like he has to ask something, right? So he will start asking from other topics or other fields which may not be your strong point, so the chances get a bit lower. So that's
yeah,
another advantage of having a resume, means having a project on
exactly.
your resume.
Exactly. Means I think that at least two good projects to
Yeah,
full stack or whatever you are doing projects are, or maybe our experience. Because in my case, it was like that there was one project discussion and my experience at SD Internet. There was a startup.
yeah,
So at least there should be something which you have done, two or three major projects should be
yeah,
there, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Great, Anis, and great. That was amazing. Your projects, your experience at different, and actually, and the next thing is that you have got full-time offers from DirectI to, from Microsoft to, and from Credit to, and means you have done intern and then you have got a PPO or full-time. So means how was that experience of converting an internship into a PPO? Anything you want to tell about that?
Yeah, like I already said about the PPO interviews of Microsoft. Like I had two interviews. One was DSA and another was system design. So basically, for the PPO, like just focus on the project. Like try to make as much impact as you can on the project, and like you will feel a little out of place when you are interning. Like you will have some kind of an imposter syndrome, that you will feel that you are incompetent. Like everyone has it. Like for the first 1 or 2 weeks, you will most probably have a imposter syndrome, okay. So just don't worry about it. Just try to learn, or try to go through the code base. Try to understand the code base as much as possible. Like for my case, it was not possible to even understand the code base. Like it was a huge code base. Like it had some 20 or 30,000 lines of code. So try to get an idea of the code base, and in case you can't figure out anything, just reach out to your mentor. So mentors are specifically assigned to you to help you out. So anything you can't handle or anything you can't understand, just reach out to your mentor. And your mentors have an idea of how your project will go, so he will definitely help you out to complete your project. And completing your project is the most important thing. Like, even if you don't give your PPO interviews well, okay, if you have completed your project and your manager's feedback is good, you still get a PPO. So I have observed this, people, the interviews haven't gone well for them, they told, but they told that their managers feedback are good, or their manager is satisfied with the project or the implementation of the project, so they have got a PPO. Okay, so managers feedback is really important. So, and also keep your manager updated with the work that you have done. So if you just tell the manager or give them a weekly update or some bi-weekly update, I would say that I have done these things in these 2 weeks, and I am planning to do these things in the next couple of weeks or the next week. So this will give your manager a fair bit of idea that what you are doing and how you are trying to do. So he will be updated with your work. So when he is giving the feedback to the HR or the recruiting team, he will have more points or more data to evaluate you. So that's one thing you should keep in mind while interning.
Yeah, great. And that's actually a very great tip for us. Even for me also, I have to also target for PPO after my intern, and that's something good which you basically told us. So great, Anis, and it was amazing, like hearing your journey, how you just goes on for starting from first year with the CP. Everyone start from guys. Everyone starts from newbie only. No one starts from
Yeah.
specialist experts, but one goes to that particular level. Okay, so don't think that I am a newbie. I am a pupil. Everyone starts from there only. I have started from there, Anis has started from there, and then you take some time to reach 5 star, 6 star, and that thing now. So it's great, Anis. And at the last, I just wanted to just give some words for the beginners who are currently watching this video. For those, there are different kind of people who are watching. Maybe they are some students who are beginner first or second year. Maybe those who are targeting for companies, they're not getting the offer. Who are preparing for companies. Any a concluding tip from you for
Yeah,
them?
so if I have to give a concluded tip, is that first of all, try to make your skills as high as possible. Means try to upskill yourself as much as you can. Go and do CP, or go and do DSA, or learn system design, learn CS fundamentals. Try to do as many things as you can. Try to learn as much as you can. Try to apply as many places as you can, because don't self reject yourself that I am not good for this, I am not good for that. Just go and apply. Just keep sharpening your skills. Just try to upskill yourself as much as possible. Try reaching out people. Try taking guidance from others. So that's the thing. Try as much as you can, and surely your opportunity or your time will come. And if you keep sharpening your skills, when your time will come, you can definitely make the most of it. So I know this is a tough time, like hiring freeze, layoffs are going on, but this also happened in 2020 when the COVID was there. But after 2020 there was a hiring boom as well. The companies hired, means aggressively. So there will be times where companies will be hiring aggressively as well. So take this time out, prepare, and if you prepare well in this time, when the companies are hiring aggressively, you can make the most of it. So that's the concluded tip I would say.
Exactly. So the most important thing which Anis told is to scale up yourself. That's the most important thing I think that in today's scenario. And if you're not getting the opportunities, if you're not getting things, it's fine. Means things are there, up and downs are always in the life. They are going on. But the thing is that if you are using that time, using that free time when you are improving yourself, and that's the best thing I think. What you can do, and then obviously all the best to everyone who is watching, and you will surely get your target and dream company
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Okay, Nish. So thank you very much for your time, and you guided a well to all of my viewers. And I will share the Anish LinkedIn ID in the description box. You can check it out, and you can certainly connect with Anish and for such amazing person. So, real Anish, that's
Yeah.
thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Abhinav, and also congratulations on your LinkedIn offer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye. Bye
thank you guys.
everyone.
Then, yeah, bye.